Mangala.
Hari Om to all the Atmajyotis, divine light of the self. Welcome to one more session of dharmakṣetra Manana on the Bhagavad Gita. Chandrakumari ji, please start. You can start with the dhyana shlokas.
Okay. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshinim. नमोस्तु ते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे पुल्लार विंदाय तपत्र नेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैल पूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमय प्रदीपः प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धार नीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनि कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम विकर्ण घोरमकर दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्ण खलु पाण्डवैरणनदि कैवर्तक केशव पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाकेन केसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्र मरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. Good. Thank you. Okay. So today we will dive into the first chapter. Okay. Many things happening in this chapter. On the face of it is just about the physical things that were happening, but we will see how interesting it can get. The first, we will chant the first shloka to begin with, and then we can go into the meaning. Of course, it's most famous shloka. Everyone knows this. All of us can chant by turns. Dhritarashtra uvāca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya. Yes.
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 Dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya.
Dhritarashtra uvāca is very important. We will explain why.
Okay.
Anyone, others can start with that. Yes. Yaar heltira next?
Dhritarashtra uvaca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya.
Yes. Yes.
Dhritarashtra uvāca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya.
Okay.
I can go next.
Yes, Sweta, hela.
Dhritarashtra uvaca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya.
Very nice. Jai Shri Prasad. Rahul.
Yeah. Dhritarashtra uvāca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya.
Jai Shri. Anyone?
Dhritarashtra uvāca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya.
Sanjaya. Padmaja, you want to chant?
Sanjaya.
Shaila?
Hari Om, madam.
Hari Om. Allah, idu Dhritarashtra uvāca. You want to chant the first shloka?
Yes, madam. I will chant. First one, first chapter.
I'm sharing the screen, Shaila. You can.
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಸರಿ, ಧಾರಾಳವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಧೃತರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಉವಾಚ ಧರ್ಮಕ್ಷೇತ್ರೇ ಕುರುಕ್ಷೇತ್ರೇ ಸಮವೇತಾ ಯುಯುತ್ಸವಃ ಮಾಮಕಾಃ ಪಾಂಡವಾಶ್ಚೈವ ಕಿಮಕುರ್ವತ ಸಂಜಯ.
Okay, nice. So, the most famous shloka is here. We shall see how it unravels. But before that, this chapter is called as the Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So, as we know, all the chapters in the Gita are titled Yoga, Yoga, Yoga. Alva? 18 chapters, all of them are yogas.
Arjuna Vishada Yoga.
Vishada Yoga. Nirmala chant, no? First shloka.
Dhritarashtra uvāca dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre samavetā yuyutsavaḥ māmakāḥ pāṇḍavāścaiva kimakurvata sañjaya.
Okay, anyone else? So, dharmakṣetre kurukṣetre. We all know the meaning also. In this, Dhritarashtra said, in this dharmakṣetra, which is the Kurukshetra, or Kurukshetra, which is the dharmakṣetra, samavetā yuyutsavaḥ. Yuyutsavaḥ andre those who are eager to fight. The warriors who are eager to fight, they are all beautifully arranged. Samavetā. Māmakāḥ, my children, and Pandavāścaiva, and the Pandu's children. Kimakurvata. Sanjaya, oh Sanjaya, tell me, what did they do is in brackets. The straight translation is what did they in Sanskrit. Okay, so we shall dive into this. Why is this called Vishada Yoga? We are here, as we know, the entire Gita is about Arjuna's dilemma and how it is addressed. So what is this Vishada business here and why is it a yoga? Yes. Nirmala, you have any explanation? How can crying be a yoga? Yes,
Only when there is confusion, then only clarity follows.
Correct. Yes.
Only when you are in doubt, that you will try to find a way to get out of it.
Solution will also come. Correct. Sneha, what to say? Yes, all of us.
I was about to say, sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay. So it's called as yoga of Arjuna's grief, Vishada Yoga.
Correct.
That's because Arjuna's despair, Arjuna's sadness and confusion paradoxically becomes the starting point for spiritual wisdom.
There you are.
His emotional breakdown actually creates the necessary openness or ambience for receiving Krishna's teachings. If that was not there, he wouldn't have received that Krishna's teaching.
Very beautiful.
So that is where it becomes Vishada Yoga.
Yes.
All along, what he said Krishna, drive the chariot there, drive the chariot here. I want to find out who are eager to fight, all that. But by the end of the chapter, he is lost. He said, Poch, my cousins, my in-laws, my, all the people are, I'm going to kill them. It's better to be killed by them and all that stuff. And now he puts all his bow and arrow down and surrenders at Krishna's feet.
The yoga.
Because why Krishna chose only Arjuna? Because he is the one who surrendered to Krishna.
Right. Correct.
Completely. When you are in total despair, that is the time you lift your hand totally towards Lord. Oh God, please save me. Do something.
Save me, help me. All that happened.
Yes. And in this first thing, this Dhritarashtra is so selfish. My children,
Hold on. We'll come to that. Sneha wanted to add on something about this Vishada business.
No, it's around the same.
All done.
Yeah.
All told. Okay. Good. Yes. So, like everyone rightly pointed out, when does sorrow become yoga? When we cry in front of God. We are used to, telling our problems to people, our friends, our close ones, and everything is fine. That is good. You might get some relief. But the real solution comes only when I cry, in front of God. Open my heart to God. That was the famous solution given by Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to everyone. See, our senses are running out into the world in all directions. Make them one-pointed and let it run to God. Even your problems, even your anger, let it be directed towards God. Everything. So many Mahatmas tell us that whatever, however trivial or however grave your problem might be, take it to God. How do I take it? Just tell him, whatever is happening, I cry, I tell myself and then say, Krishnarpana, it's your problem now, not mine. You help me. Anta. So that is when the Vishada becomes a yoga. Yes. Any more inputs on this? And so this dharmakṣetra, yes. Next question is, how come this Gita is an independent text? It's in the middle of the Mahabharata. For anything to be an independent text, it is said that it should have a prayer at least. It should. Any text you take, whether it is the Prakarana Granthas or the Upanishads or any little text you take, spiritual text will start with the prayer. Even secular text will start with an acknowledgement. Where is this here? Where is the prayer here in this Gita? That it is given the status of an independent text. That is a very interesting question. I believe there are 3 things that are important for any text to be called as independent. Okay. One nimsha. There is just one, there are 3 things. One is prayatna, I believe. Prayatna, kala and prarthana. 3 things should be fulfilled for some text to be, for scripture to be called as independent. Prayatna is how sincerely, with what dedication the author has written the text. Dedication. What is the author's biodata? For example, I believe Duryodhana had written a text on Dharma. No credibility at all. Who will read a text on Dharma written by Duryodhana? Like that. That prayatna and that complete dedication, it includes for us also, for any secular work also, for it to be maybe a project report or maybe some assignment, how much have I involved myself in that? That is important, and that comes through in the work. That is why the prayatna is one parameter. And then kala. at what time was it written and what time will it come to fruition? It was written during the Dvapara Yuga. But when is it most needed? It should be sung, it should be studied. So that also, that parameter fulfilled in this Bhagavad Gita. When it is most needed by everyone for all times. So that Kala is also fulfilled. Otherwise, some texts become, just, it was relevant for those times, it doesn't matter now. That should not be there. Then it's not a scripture. It is just a text which is rotting in the, gathering dust in the library. So, Prayatna tick, Kala tick. The third one is Prarthana. Where is the Prarthana? In the said Duryodhana's text, there was no Prarthana. No invoking God, no taking his blessings or the Guru Parampara's blessings. All this was, missing in Duryodhana's Dharma book. Maybe it's a joke, I don't know. It has been said. So where is the Prarthana in this Gita shloka? Do you find a Prarthana here? Anyone? So,
in so many of the shlokas, Arjuna refers to Krishna as God, right?
Correct. But the beginning, any text should open with Prarthana. That is the necessary condition.
Isn't the Parthaya Pratibodhitam?
Those are not part of the Gita. It was not written by Vyasa. Those Gita Dhyana shlokas were by another enlightened sage called Madhusudana Saraswati. He was so enraptured with the Gita that he burst out with these shlokas. So nice. Traditionally, taken as Gita Dhyana shlokas, added later. But by itself, Gita, it is right in the middle of the Bharata with no, Vyasa has not given any Prarthana as such. He didn't consider it, as apart from the Mahabharata or something. It was just a flow. It was in the flow of things. Okay. So it is said that Dhritarashtra, the meaning of the Dhritarashtra itself means God. It is not, it is on one hand, it indicates the blind king Dhritarashtra. But the another meaning of Dhritarashtra is, Dhrita means to hold, Rashtra is the entire Jagat. Who is the one who is holding the entire Jagat? It is Lord Krishna. So that is one explanation. So the entire Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Dhritarashtra uvāca. Krishna is narrating. Krishna is the author of this book Kanda. Vyasa is saying that through the opening Dhritarashtra uvāca. Interesting. So this I came across while doing all this research on this Dhritarashtra. So yes, that is one part. Now, dharmakṣetre, kurukṣetre, all that, all of us can share one insight about this shloka. One. What all can you think about this shloka? What all comes to you when you read this shloka? Yes.
Okay, I would like to share an insight, which of course is not mine, is Anargya's.
Oh.
So yesterday I mentioned for everyone else, Anargya is my daughter, who is now 14 years old. Last night I was mentioning to her that in today's dharmakṣetra session, we are going to deal with the first shloka of the Gita. She was very keen to attend, but couldn't make herself wake up on time. Okay. Although she doesn't have any practice today. All right. So she said it's so ironic that Dhritarashtra mentions the word dharma. Dharmakṣetre. So this means that he knows that this entire Kurukshetra war is happening for dharma. And yet he's allowing it to happen. So he knows that he's doing wrong. Still he's doing. So he's not just blind in his eyes. He's also blinded his brain.
Correct. Beautiful insight. Anargya. 3 cheers to Anargya. Beautiful. Yes. the blind king is really blind in body, mind and spirit. Spirit can't be blind. Fir bhi, psychological blindness Dhritarashtra has got. Correct. One more insight. Yes. Next. Anyone? Speak up. Dharmakṣetre, kurukṣetre, samavetā. What else jumps at you about this shloka? What else?
Purnimaji, when you say that Dhritarashtra is about Krishna,
Yes.
so the first shloka helps us to know that there is a battle happening inside us also.
Yes.
Dharmakṣetra and Kurukshetra, like Pandavas and Kauravas.
Very nice.
There is a battle. So Arjuna Vishada Yoga means it's all happening within us also.
Yes.
So how the next sloka, coming slokas will explain more about it. But this describes. I feel that it describes about the battle within us.
Correct.
It is said to Krishna.
Correct.
For giving a solution.
Perfect. It's a battle within and without. Correct. It is a battle within us between our own negative and positive tendencies. 3 levels this battle, this dharmakṣetra, this kurukṣetra battle is being fought. It is said at 3 levels. Okay, Shweta, you want to share something?
Oh, no, Purnimaji, I think I just forgot to go on mute.
Acha, okay. Yeah. Nirmala, yes, please, you can pitch in. Full steam. Nirmala, you wanted to say something, no?
No, he was already telling how selfish he is. He's my sons. He's saying my sons and Pandu's sons.
Correct. Māmakāḥ, my son. He is
My
not.
son.
Even after all these, he has never considered them as his children, isn't it? That was his failing. That is why he is blind. So, quickly before I forget, the adhyatmika, the psychological profiling of these characters. Dhritarashtra is, of course, the blinded, what is that? Blinded, what do you want to call it? He is blinded psychologically. The mind is blinded, like Anarghya rightly said. And the other characters, we actually, lot of other shlokas will come where we, come to the psychological profiling of each of these characters. So Dharma, this Dhritarashtra's mind is blocked psychologically, and Gandhari, who should have been his consort and his partner in life in dharma. See, what are the vows we take when we get married? Dharmecha, arthecha, kamecha, naticha rami. We are going to support each other in dharma, artha and kama. Whatever we are going to acquire in this life and whatever the karyas we do, dharma karyas in our life, we are partners. We are going to help each other. And she is partnering him in what way? In adharma. Gandhari can be taken as the intellect, which is also blinded. See, when my mind is going here and there, somewhere the discretion, that viveka will prevail. That is the mind, that is the job of the intellect. That are the two, manas and buddhi. The manas is it is called a vikalpa manas. Manas has always has doubts. Whereas buddhi has got sankalpa. It will tell. When I have a doubt between two options, that's the manas which is operating this or that. And finally, when I take the action, it is the buddhi which has said, okay, take this action. So the manas and buddhi are a pair. They go together always. And this Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, both of them are blinded. Both of them have stopped working in a proper manner. So Dhritarashtra and Gandhari they are these blind people. So Dhritarashtra uvāca, what did he say? Kya Nirmala?
If she had not closed her eyes, she could have guided her sons better.
Everything. Yes.
Son is blind. At least as a mother, she could have, trained them in a better form.
Yeah. Correct.
That opportunity was lost for the children.
She was neither a good wife nor a good mother. And this is what the single failure of Gandhari has brought each person involved in the whole drama. It have somehow contributed for this moment, for this Kurukshetra to happen. Yes. Duryodhana's single pointed hatred towards, who was his sworn enemy of Duryodhana? Not all the Pandavas.
Arjuna.
Bhima.
Bhima was his peer. Like he was not Duryodhana was not an archer like Arjuna, but Bhima wasn't either. But they were both good in Gadha Yuddha, and he always felt that he was always competing with Bhima for popularity. Bhima was very popular as a child. Everyone loved Bhima and his, all his quirks like eating too much and all. They loved him so much. Yes,
But
Nirmala?
Duryodhana was no less in Gada, this thing. He was also very good.
Very,
And
very skilled.
his
Yes.
teacher was Balarama.
Duryodhana's
Rama's
son.
son. So, he taught him very well and he was very good at it.
Both. He was teacher for both Bhima and Duryodhana, Gada Yuddha. He was. Yes. But as we know, Balarama was more favor. Duryodhana was the favorite of Balarama. Okay. That aside, what is this Dhritarashtra's toxic love for his children also has come to this point.
1 minute. So at the last battle, Krishna signs. At that time, Balarama comes back from his pilgrimage. He is present in that last battle of Duryodhana and Bhima.
Last.
So, Krishna assigns to Bhima, hit him in his thighs. Right. But usually, hitting in the thighs is considered cheating.
Right, not allowed.
Not allowed. So, when this was done, he was very angry with Krishna, and he said, "This is cheating," because his favorite was Duryodhana, no? So that also he was very unhappy.
Correct. Yes. Nice. So again now this dharmakṣetra. What is the dharmakṣetra? Kshetra is the field. Dharma. Any kshetra, what do we do in a field? What do we do in a field? We sow seeds. So the dharmakṣetra, like Kamala said, my body itself is the body-mind complex is the kshetra, in which I can either sow seeds of dharma or seeds of adharma. If I sow the seeds of adharma, kurukṣetra. So the same kshetra can be either dharmakṣetra or kurukṣetra, depending on whether I have put a patti on my eyes or not. That is the meaning of why both the terms have to go together. Dharmakṣetra, kurukṣetra. Same field. But different uses can be made of the same field. The body is the kshetra, where good and bad seeds are sown. That is why dharmakṣetra. So there is a legend long ago in the dharmic king of the Kurus, one of the dharmic king, the earlier kings of the Kuru Vamsha, was plowing the field. This place where the battle was happening, he was plowing the field. And Indra, the god, he was very curious. He said, "What is this man doing? He's a king. And he has got plenty of servants to do this job. He himself is plowing the field." And very curious, he came down to inquire what's happening. And he saw that this dharmic king was plowing the field with a golden plow. Golden. After all, he is the king. He's got a golden plow. So Indra asked him, "What are you sowing?" The king said, "I am sowing the seeds of dharma." Okay. And so the Indra was very happy and he blessed this king, saying, he said that Bharata Varsha and this place in this place, the dharma will always reign. So that was the blessing of the gods. So here in this dharmakṣetra, Lord Krishna himself is overseeing the destruction of evil, which will always happen. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati. That is why the Lord comes and again to this land and help us. Okay. So we all have, as humans, we have adhikari shaktas and we plow the seeds of dharma. Okay. Anyone
Okay.
wants to
Yeah.
add something?
Hi, I want to
Yes, please.
read out this Chinmaya's views on the dharmakṣetra.
Yeah.
When upon the spiritual field of self-development within the lower instincts
Correct.
and the higher ideals array themselves,
Very good.
ready to fight. A true seeker, under the guidance of his divine discriminative intellect, takes himself to a point on no man's land between the two forces for the purpose of reviewing the enemy lines.
Very beautiful. No man's land.
Without identifying himself in him. And at that moment of his introspective meditations, the egoistic entity comes to feel a morbid desperation and feels generally incapacitated to undertake the great spiritual adventure of fighting his inner war with any hope of victory.
Very nice. Correct. That's the adhyatmika meaning of this first sloka of this Kurukshetra. Honest, see, where does Sanjaya fit in? Sanjaya is the witness. He is the objective witness of this entire thing. He is just relating what is happening. That is what we should do. Like how Chinmayananda Bhagavan has given the interpretation. There is a text called God talks with Arjuna or speaks with Arjuna by Paramhamsa Yogananda. That text is complete Adhyatmika take on the Bhagavad Gita. It's very beautiful. So in that, the same explanation is given. Through honest introspection at the end of the day, honest introspection, that is Sanjaya. Through honest introspection, we should analyze the deeds, what we have done through the day. And we have to find out whether my buddhi triumphed or my manas triumphed. Whether my vasanas had a big hand or whether it is every day the struggle between Shreyas and Preyas. What it is good for me and what I want to do because it gives me pleasure. Preyas is which brings me down to the level of the senses. Preyas is which takes me higher to God. So always the tussle is always there. So that is the assessment we have to do with the intellect and buddhi. Buddhi and manas, that introspection has to end, we have to end with the introspection by the end of the day. That is the correct Adhyatmika meaning of this. Did I do my sadhana? And the fire scale. How did I rate? How do I rate myself on the fire scale? What is this fire? Face how frequently am I getting pulled into the negative tendencies, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, fire. Say, just take one, anger. How frequently I am getting angry today, that is one metric. I, what is that I stand for? I is for frequency, intensity. How intense was my anger? Is it less than yesterday or is it more than yesterday? Intensity. RE is for recovery time. How well have I recovered from this episode of burst of anger? Frequency. Perhaps earlier I used to get angry every, maybe 10 times a day. Now it has come down. Intensity. I used to get extremely angry. I would throw all the dishes from the kitchen. Now I don't do that anymore. Intensity has come down. Recovery. I used to be angry for days together. Now I recover within half an hour. So this is the way we have to introspect and come to a grip with our own emotions. That is the sadhana, nothing more.
This is the litmus test for ourselves.
Yes. That is
E is for empathy. How much empathy you have.
empathy. Empathy. If I have empathy for the other person, I will not fly into a rage. I put myself in the other person's shoes and I understand the problem better. Correct. Empathy. So all this is a dharmakṣetra, kurukṣetra happening within us every day. Okay, good. Let us go to the next shloka. Anything else people want to add? You're welcome. Otherwise,
I had a point, Purnamji.
yes, please.
So, Kurukshetra, the word Kuru, Sanskrit etymology prakara is from the Kru dhatu, which is to do. So, so you have actually dharmakṣetre, karmakṣetre, and the ಎರಡೂನು is coming there. Dharma and karma both are coming in the first line itself. So, Kru dhatu. So. That is one, and also the state of mind. Again, I look at neuroscience for everything. So connecting spirituality to neuroscience makes my life more meaningful on the understanding banbide man. So so here Dhritarashtra is in a state of anxiety. So he, like all the previous Atmajyoti is also mentioned that he was in a state of fear. ಅವನು ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅವನು ಅಧರ್ಮ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, yet he continued ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಿಂಗ್, it's the amygdala which kicks in the fight or flight response. So when the fight or flight response is activated, the empathy that you mentioned now switches off. So it's only me and mine. As to the ego is of prime importance. So it's the animalistic instinct of non-matra, non-protection, non-safety matra.
Very good.
So that's where the māmakāḥ is coming in. And although Pandavas are his blood relatives only, it does not matter to him at that point of time, because the amygdala has kicked in. So that portion of it's called the reptilian brain. So that is activated in Dhritarashtra at this point of time when he's asking this question. So others don't matter at that point of time. So I thought I saw the neuroscience of this shloka in that perspective. So yeah.
So for every shloka, please come up with some kind of insight into this neuroscience. See, everything. Dharma, Kurukshetra only. Everything is happening within me, and all these are pointers towards. It's good to be aware so that we are prepared for what is to come and maybe avoid how to avoid the situation. We can understand. And how not to become this me and my abhimana, swabhimana, abhimana, mamakara. How to overcome that is entire Gita is about that only. How animal tendency has to be overcome. Yes.
Thank you, Rahulji, for that very logical explanation.
Neuroscience is, especially after attending Prabhuji's Atma Darshana, there is this interface that we have to experience the world is actually happening neuroscientifically. So everything is on the neuronal level in the brain. So the neuron firing, whether it's input coming through my eyes or nose or ears or tongue or skin, which is our experiential gateways to the world, the final processing is happening in the neurons. So again, in fact, I'm proud to share that I'm actually doing an MSc psychology exclusively to bridge this gap only. So right now, so I'm combining philosophy with neuroscience, and the insights are unbelievable. So the more I'm going into neuroscience, the more spiritual I'm becoming. So because of brain level ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುವಾಗ, this is why I behaved angrily in that instant. This is why I was happy when I saw my son. This is why I smiled when I saw a puppy. So I'm understanding what's happening in the neuronal level.
Wow.
And it's making me very spiritual in a way. So
making you a Sanjaya, a witness.
A witness, yeah, exactly.
You are able to separate the happenings in your own mind and body, and you're able to see it objectively.
True. Yeah.
What a wonderful, blessing that is.
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage all of us to explore neuroscience at least on a superficial level. It's a simple subject. In fact, Andrew Huberman, there is one podcast channel on YouTube. Dr. Andrew Huberman, Huberman Labs, the Huberman. He explains neuroscience for the layman. So ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಚಾನೆಲ್ ನೀವು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ.
Nine levels. Correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. And apparently, this neuroscience, finally, the conclusion, I don't know, I have heard that when I have to lift a hand, there is no free will. Already the command
It's already happening. Yeah. In fact, I mean, this might be slightly out of topic, but I heard something. I saw something recently which I would love to share with the group. So, again, brain it takes a couple of nanoseconds or picoseconds to process the input that is entering. Right now, we are all looking at a screen. So, a screen allinda bartara light nam retina ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಇನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಮೇಜ್ನ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಅಂತ ದ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಇಸ್ ಶೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ a couple of fractions of a second. So which means, if, for example, if we put a hypothetical number, if it took 0.0035 seconds, I am always looking at 0.0035 seconds in the past.
Lag.
There's a lag. So what I think I'm seeing now actually happened 0.00 something seconds in the past. So I'm forever experiencing the past. I might be in the now, but I'm experiencing the past. So ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪಾತ್ರೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅ ಫ್ಯೂ ಫ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ನೌ.
Sound has to travel.
It has to travel and come, and my ear has to process it. So it takes some time. So I am forever experiencing the past only. So ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಧ್ಯಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೋವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರನೇ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೌ ಪ್ರಾಬಬ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. So or else we are permanently living in the past. So yeah.
That is the limitation of the body mind.
Of the brain. Yeah. True. It's so free will illa. ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ neuroscientifically the body is already. So they give this explanation. If a tennis player is serving a ball at the speed of 100 miles per hour, so the brain is actually slower. So the brain takes a little extra time to process ಯಾವ directionally the ball will come anta. So predictive analysis prakara, the brain actually has learned to predict looking at the posture of the person who is serving the ball. Before your brain can process ad ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, your body has already taken the position to receive the ball. So with practice. So yeah, so you actually don't have free will, and the neuroscientifically they show that your brain takes over at incredibly fast speeds.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wonderful insights.
Yes, very nice. But what about breath?
That's the only thing. Buddhist meditation, the usraadvaga, that gap between the breath that you have, or the distance between two thoughts, is that consciousness anta ಹೇಳತರ. Deepak Chopra says that the distance between between two thoughts is consciousness. And so yeah, that's the only time we are in the here and now. If not, we are not in the here and now. Yeah.
We are going haywire. That is why all dhyana practices say you first observe the breath, because the mind, of course, goes going here, there, everywhere. And neurologically, psychologically also, we are in the past, like how this one explained. But the body is always in the present. Body doesn't go anywhere, Papa. It's always in the present. So the one which can bring the mind back to the present is the breath. Anchor the breath in the body. That is the whole technique of this vipassana and everything is observe the body. Yakendre, that is the only way you can bring the body back to the present moment.
Correct. True.
Nice.
So that is the connection between the body and the breath. Good. Māmakāḥ Pandavāścaiva kimakurvata Sanjaya. So the objective introspection is happening. In us also it's happening. So Sanjaya uvāca. We have time to chant this at least, definitely. Sanjaya uvāca. Drṣṭvā tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt. Yes, everyone can chant.
Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu pāṇḍavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Sanjaya uvāca दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यम् उपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Yes. Yes. Sneha, Kamala, Ellaru.
Yes, sorry. I'm not able to. Sorry, please go ahead. Sorry.
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Sanjaya uvāca.
Yeah, please.
Sorry, okay. Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Rahul.
Sure. Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Next. Kamala.
Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Jayashree.
Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Yes. Anupama, Anu, Shweta.
I can go next. Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Yes. Samata.
Super, Shweta.
Shweta is
Thank you.
pro. Right. Anyone else want to chant? Okay, fine. Anupama. Yes.
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्योपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्.
Yes.
Sorry, I'll do that now.
Yes, sure.
Sanjaya uvāca drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ vyūḍhaṃ duryodhanastadā ācāryamupasaṅgamya rājā vacanamabravīt.
Very nice. So Sanjaya uvāca, Sanjaya said, Drishtva tu Pandavānīkaṃ, having seen the army of the Pandavas drawn up in the battle array, vyūḍhaṃ. Vyūḍha also means vyūham. So what did Duryodhana say? Rājā. Duryodhana is being addressed as a Rājā, even though Dhritarashtra is the Rājā. This fellow is just a prince, Raja Kumara. But still already he is, assuming the kingship of his kingdom. Everyone else also addresses him as Raja. Ācāryan upasaṅgamya. He approaches his teacher, Drona. Vachanam abravīt. He spoke these words. Yes. Any thoughts on this shloka? Pitchin, people. Then, yeah.
So, 10 days of the battle is over.
When this dialogue starts. True.
Yes. What happened was, the Krishna gives the option to the Dhritarashtra to see the war. But Dhritarashtra develops a cold feet. He is afraid that he will be seeing Gauri.
Vyasa, no? Vyasa gives.
Vyasa. So what happens is he refuses. So then he says, you want to see through somebody at least. Then he suggests, can I give the power to Sanjaya so that he will be describing you all that happened. The battle is going on, and it's a very confident battle because Bhishma is the commander-in-chief, and Dhritarashtra is very confident that, Bhishma will win the war. So he was not interested. The day Bhishma fell, that is the time he gets scared. Now what's going to happen?
Yeah.
How are my children and Pandu's children faring? Give me a progress report.
Correct.
So Sanjaya takes him on the 10th. That is what is the thing which is happening.
So this Duryodhana being addressed as Rājā clearly tells us that this Dhritarashtra was a rubber stamp. He was actually being led. All the decisions were, Duryodhana was shooting over the shoulder of his father. He took all the decisions. So he is by default, people call him Rājā Duryodhana. Yeah.
But the real person who was guiding him was Shakuni.
Yes, that we established. Yeah.
Yes. And he was the one who is planting all the wrong things and all the time asking, what is Krishna thinking? That was his only job.
Yeah. And
with 2 words, I'll finish Ramayana, Mahabharata. Puni, that is that slouched lady, Puni, is Ramayana's villain, and Shakuni is Mahabharata's villain. Finished. Game over.
Game began. All right. Yeah. So why did he approach Drona, who was the commander-in-chief of the Kuru army? Kaurava. Bhishma. Why he didn't ask, why he should have addressed, what will you do when you start a game? You will talk to the coach will talk to the captain? No. But this fellow is going and talking to Drona. Why he did not approach Bhishma?
I think Drona was... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
He wanted to emotionally blackmail him, no? Which comes in the next shloka, right?
Okay.
Plus, he was his teacher, right? Drona knew. Drona taught them how to wage a war, almost like a strategist or a military.
Sorry, but who should lead the war? It is the commander-in-chief.
First, he wanted to belittle Bhishma.
Okay.
Belittle Bhishma.
I think he took Bhishma's loyalty for granted because Bhishma was like, his whole life was about dharma and...
Very good. Correct. Yes. Yes, Samatha. That is
so he was 100% firmly on the Kauravas side. There was no doubt about that. But Drona had so much attachment towards Arjuna.
Correct.
So maybe Duryodhana felt like...
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
That is the commentary given by, many masters, that he was a little scared of Bhishma also, And like she said, the Bhishma was he was so blinded by his Hastinapura, I will protect the throne. So he didn't need any convincing. But Drona, he was a little dicey. Always, he was fond of the Pandavas. He was their teacher too, and Arjuna was his favorite student. So Duryodhana wanted to pep him up. Yes, and that he does in the upcoming shlokas.
Not pep him up. Put a nail.
Also, make sure that this fellow is fighting for me and not for the Pandavas. So he kind of does that. And vyūḍhaṃ also is this vyūḍha, all they beautifully done all the vyūhas. The Pandavas have done the beautiful vyūhas. That is Sanjaya is telling that, isn't it?
Who was forming those vyūhas?
The commander-in-chief has to take care of it, no? He will do the vyūhas for the respective armies.
There is one particular person who was an expert in vyūhas.
Krupa, I think, in this side, isn't it?
Krupacharya.
Krupacharya for the Kauravas. Yes. Who was the commander-in-chief of the Pandava army at this stage? People?
Drishtadyumna,
Drishtadyumna was the commander-in-chief.
who's also like a sworn enemy for Drona.
Yes. So
Maybe that's why also Duryodhana went to Drona first.
correct. He will needle him with that. See, you're okay. That is the next sloka.
Yeah.
Before I forget, we'll do the adhyatmika meaning of this whole thing as given by, I'm sure, Chinmayananda also, but this I have taken from Paramhamsa Yogananda. God talks to Arjuna. Okay, so Duryodhana represents kama, complete from neck to nakashika grat, the material desires, the entire body of material desires, worldly desires that we have. We can give it a name, Duryodhana. Okay, the smallest to the biggest desire that I have, which is against dharma, adharmic desires that I entertain in me, that is the Duryodhana in me. That is Duryodhana, according to Yogananda Paramhamsa. Drona is he is a sanskara. What the sanskaras I have within me. See, Drona was a Brahmana, actually, by birth. And he was not supposed to run after his name, fame, money, publicity, and all that. It was not his dharma at all. Yet he pursued that for another this thing of avenging what's his name, Drupada, avenging the shame inflicted upon him by Drupada. So that was very Brahmana tendency.
Wait. Drupada and Drona studied in the same Gurukula, and as children, they
made friends. Yeah.
He promised that the moment I come out, he was a poor Brahmin. But Drupada promised that he will give half his kingdom Drona when he comes out, when we come out. So he believed him and he went to claim half the kingdom. And Drupada said, "What? You poor Brahmin, you come and ask? By what right are you asking?" He said, "You only promised me, no?" So that is the time he said, "Okay, I vow to take all your kingdom now." And he sent Arjuna to fight, and he loses.
Correct.
That is when Drupada, as this thing, he marries off Draupadi to Arjuna.
Yeah, correct. So this Drona, he has got the sanskaras of a Brahmana. Also the sanskaras of all these negative sanskaras also he has got. So Drona is that deep impressions that we have, and we have deep impressions of both good and bad. So they are always in conflict with each other. And the word Drona comes from the root dru, D-R-U, dru. Dru means drava, to melt. Okay. Drona is the word means that which remains in a melted state. So when you apply it to our sanskaras, they're always flowing. It's a dhara within me. The sanskaras that I carry, it's a constant dhara. It remains in a melted state. A thought or a physical act, once performed, it does not stop. Okay, I did it and I forget it. No, it doesn't happen. It is there recorded in the universe for, that is how the karmas that are written in my name. There is no end to it. The karma, once it is done, it is there. It's a dhara which will define my entire life. That is why this fellow is named as Drona. In me, the sanskaras in me and the act that I do, the things that I say and think and say, they're all Dronas. I am a Drona in that sense because they're always there in a melted state, always flowing.
My samskaras will be oozing through my actions and my speech.
Oozing without my knowledge. And I'm sure Rahul will have a nice explanation for that, how they are, that habit patterns overcome us all the time. And where is it stored, all the sanskara? It's in the subconscious. It's in the subconscious. Impressions, deep impressions in the subconscious. So Drona and Duryodhana.
As Prabhuji says, our conscious thing is only 5%. Our subconscious is 95%. It's just like a tip of an iceberg. So you can see the tip. Many a time the ships, can see only the tip. But below there is a big mountain there. They can't see and it hits. That's how all the accidents in the ships
happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that, in our life, we are thinking we know everything, but things are happening many things are happening without our knowledge.
Absolutely. That is we are being handled by these deep sanskaras. So together Drona and Duryodhana, what does it represent now? Now we know Drona is the mass of desires and Drona is a sanskara. So what is this combination? So the sanskaras that I have sustain the desires that I express in life. The one who has a sanskara, non-vegetarian food or vegetarian food, whatever it is, that's a sanskara that will be expressed as a desire in the outer world, and that's how we go towards those interests.
I will be a full rajasic person. Full rajasic, not an iota of sattvic. Rajasic combined with tamasic feelings.
Tamas and rajas are combined here.
Yes, in a strong, this thing, rajas, and a little less is tamas.
For a brahmana, feelings of revenge is tamas only. His sanskara as a brahmana should not allow him to have harbor these feelings of revenge and going after security. And he was a poor Brahmin, like you said, and he was very upset that that Ashwatthama, poor fellow, as a child, the mother was giving him wheat flour mixed in water and telling it is milk. That was when Drona says, no, I have to earn money. Papa, actually it was a very legitimate desire, but then it became combined with this thing for revenge and all sorts of things, confused sanskaras.
So what happened was, Pandava brothers were playing near a well. The ball fell down.
Yes.
And they felt very sad that their ball fell down.
Yeah.
And nearby was Drona.
Right.
He said, you want the ball? I'll get it for you. He just threw grass after the grass, blade of grass after grass, and then took out the ball from the thing. They went and reported this to Bhishma. Then Bhishma said, I want to meet this Drona. I want him to be a teacher for, of course, for Pandavas and Kauravas. He is the king, sort of. He is a person who decides for the kingdom, not for only Pandavas or only Kauravas. So he engages him for all the 105 students.
Yes, that is Drona.
That's how he gets the job.
Correct. That is his his skills and talent and everything, secured him the job. Rahul is saying Drona is the intellect without discrimination. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, again, psychologically. So Drona was actually a jnani. So he was extremely learned. So if we could take him as one version of intellect, buddhi, because of his egoistic entanglements or emotional entanglements or with respect to Ashwathama, and also then you've held the episode with Drupada, the emotional suppression. And there was a lot of suppression or suppressed, bottled up emotions that he had. So the intellect is blinded, alva. So our time only. So now when ācāryamupasaṅgamya, when he went towards the Guru,
approach the Guru.
ತಪ್ಪು ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ಲಿ so suppose there is a chain smoker and before he lights up every cigarette, there is a logic within him which is telling him don't do it.
Don't do it.
But still he overpowers it and goes and does it. So, and also you mentioned about vyūḍhaṃ. Vyūḍhaṃ again is a well arranged formation of an army. So when Pandavas have that well arranged army, that is the positive qualities within me which don't let me smoke. ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ I have an emotion telling me Rahul don't smoke ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ I am just going and consulting my emotionally suppressed guru. Is it okay to smoke? And then that emotionally suppressed guru is saying ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗು ಮಾಡು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದೇ it's just ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡು. So
Habit patterns are so strong.
habit pattern, yeah. So Duryodhana and Drona, that conversation there, yeah.
Good. Thank you.
It was an insult. Drupada telling like that what? You poor Brahmin? It was such a big insult for him that he just said that with my education, I will prove you.
I will show you. Yes.
Yes.
Good, done. Karma never forgives, karma never forgets. Yes, absolutely. Karma doesn't forgive. That is why it is called Drona. Always in motion, always in a melted state. There is only one condition in which karma doesn't harm. When it is done as a yoga.
Nishkama karma.
Nishkama karma, as a yoga, as a surrender to God. When we do, karma is not happening. Okay, good for the day. We can close for the day with a nice prayer. Mūkam karoti vācālam panghum langhayate girim yat krupatamaham vande paramanandamadhavam asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityormamamrutangamaya om shanti shanti shanti. ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ, ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. ಲೋಕಾಃ ಸಮಸ್ತಾಃ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. हरिः ओं तत्सत्. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम्.